Imagine the boundless Atlantic Ocean. High above its blue surface, 5 Avenger military planes are checking their course. The pilots smile, check their instruments, and exchange jokes. The atmosphere is calm, just like in a regular training flight. But in a few hours, this flight will go down in history as one of the greatest aviation mysteries of the 20th century. This is the story of Flight 19, 5 planes that vanished without a trace over the Bermuda Triangle, a place where even experienced sailors get lost, and the ocean swallows everything. The Bermuda Triangle is a defined area of the Atlantic Ocean connecting Miami, the Bermuda Islands, and Puerto Rico. The triangle covers nearly 500,000 square kilometers. Ships and planes often disappear here, even under seemingly normal conditions. Sunny weather, calm waters, and moderate winds. But the statistics are shocking. Dozens of ships and thousands of people have vanished without a trace. 20th century newspapers called this region the Atlantic's graveyard. People discuss magnetic anomalies, sudden storms, and strange atmospheric effects. It was to this very place that Flight 19 set off in December 1945. December 5, 1945, Naval Air Station, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 5 Avenger planes sit on the runway. The crews check their instruments, fasten seatbelts, and inspect the planes. The group commander is Lieutenant Charles Taylor. He is an experienced pilot, confident in every decision he makes. The young pilots joke around, preparing for a routine training flight. The mission is simple: take off, perform maneuvers, and return within 3 hours. No one suspects that this flight will become both legendary and tragic. The planes fly in formation, performing bombing runs and practicing maneuvers. About an hour and a half after takeoff, the compasses start to deviate. The pilots report strange instrument readings. Lieutenant Taylor initially suspects a technical malfunction, but then realizes their navigation is completely off. Radio contact with the base becomes intermittent. Taylor says, "We can't find west. The ocean looks strange. Everything is throwing us off course." The base gives instructions, but the signals grow weaker. Within minutes, the last contact disappears. The planes are gone. After Flight 19 disappeared, a massive search operation began. Dozens of ships and planes scoured the ocean, but not a single trace was found. No wreckage, no marks on the water, no parachutes. Even stranger, the Martin Mariner seaplane sent to assist also vanished. Weeks of searching yielded no results. Military experts were stunned. How could 5 planes and a rescue aircraft disappear without a trace? The most likely cause is a simple navigation error. The compasses showed the wrong course, and the pilots lost their bearings over the ocean. Lieutenant Taylor and his team may have ended up in an invisible labyrinth. Every maneuver, even a carefully planned one, only increased the distance from the base. Fuel ran out, and the planes began to fall into the water. This explains the strange radio transmissions, the disappearance of the planes without a trace, and the tragedy that became a legend. Several hours passed after Flight 19 went out of contact. Panic spread at Fort Lauderdale Naval Air Station. Operators listened to the radio, but all they heard was faint static and broken signals. The crews no longer responded, and the ocean around seemed endless and eerily empty. While the world awaited news, one of the largest rescue operations in U.S. Navy history began. Dozens of planes and ships were deployed in the search. Each plane scoured hundreds of square kilometers of ocean. Search vessels broadcast radio signals, launched boats, and scanned the horizon, hoping to spot even a single piece of wreckage. But nothing could be seen, only the endless blue water sparkling in the sun and the ocean's relentless, invisible expanse. The Martin Mariner seaplane sent to assist also vanished without a trace. The operation became unprecedented in scale, yet nearly fruitless. What were the Flight 19 pilots feeling at that moment? All they could see was the endless blue water. The compasses were going haywire, and the maps no longer matched reality. Lieutenant Taylor tried to remain calm, supporting the young cadets. He knew that a single wrong decision could cost everyone their lives. The crew followed standard procedures as best they could, but the ocean paid no mind to rules. Each pilot felt fear, yet also a determination to keep fighting until the very end. Due to navigational deviations, the planes circled over the ocean, unable to determine their position. Lieutenant Taylor made calculations, hoping to spot land or a recognizable landmark. But the ocean seemed endless. The waves repeated like patterns on an infinite canvas. Every maneuver only made orientation more difficult. Radio contact from the base tried to guide the planes, but the pilots received conflicting instructions due to errors in determining their location. This is a classic case of spatial disorientation. Even experienced pilots can get lost over a monotonous landscape, in this case, the ocean. Time passed, and the plane's fuel gradually ran out. The pilots began to realize they would not make it back to the base. Lieutenant Taylor remained calm, issuing his final commands. Each pilot tried to set a course, but the ocean had no boundaries and no landmarks. One by one, the planes began to fall into the water. Search teams on land and at sea continued looking for traces, but the ocean swallowed everything once again. This moment became a symbol of navigational error. Human logic and instruments proved powerless against the boundless force of nature. Shock and anxiety gripped the base. Operators realized it wasn't just Flight 19 that was lost, but also the rescue plane. Military leadership conducted an analysis: what went wrong and how to prevent similar incidents in the future. Experts concluded that the main causes were navigational failure, pilot disorientation, and lack of landmarks. After this tragedy, additional training for ocean navigation was implemented, and navigation systems were improved. The legend of Flight 19 still serves as a reminder of the fragility of human life and the limitations of technology, even in peacetime. Flight 19 became a symbol of the ocean's invisible labyrinths and human error. Its tragedy reminds us that even experience and knowledge don't always protect against nature's forces. And while today we can explain the disappearance of the planes as a navigational error, the story remains a legend still discussed to this day. Comment below. What do you think about the Bermuda Triangle? Real danger or just a myth?